making sure you win in every market. Your financial partners, Don and Gino.
You are back with Don Deadly, Gino Fronting, the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, guiding you to personal and financial wellness now for over 3.5 years. Gino, it's funny. I was just looking. I'd love everybody to check out our Facebook page and click on the YouTube channel. Guess how many videos on our YouTube channel now?
You know, I'm really not sure. I'm glad that you're going to tell me, but I did notice yesterday I wanted to show somebody something, so I said, I'm just going to go to YouTube and type
talking about videos, right?
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, I wasn't going to segue. Chill out. Chill out. I'm not as ADD as I used to be anymore. I have more focus. So I go and I'm looking up, I go to YouTube and I type in Don and Gino, and I'm like looking for one specific video, and I'm like, God, I can't find it. There's too many in here.
Yeah.
Remember the interview we did with the guy with the orange shirt, #1 real estate agent in like the world?
Oh, yeah. I'm drawing a blank on his name too. What'll come to me though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hoot.
I know, but I couldn't find it because we had so many videos. So how many do we have in there now?
586.
Wow.
Wow. That's a lot of videos.
Woo. So if you're bored this Labor Day weekend, you can have a Don and Gino marathon on YouTube. Probably not.
Anyways, you better have a lot of beer to go with that.
Breaking Bad marathon, Don and Gino marathon. I don't know.
That's so funny. My wife and I were going to do that Posse Monday.
Yeah.
Because we got the videos and stuff, thanks to Gino. Cindy will watch their animals and stuff like that. Also, we get videos and stuff.
Movie collection.
Yeah, movie collection. So we thought about doing that. It's funny. Okay, so today we're going to go. We have Chris Ingram with Infinity Wealth Management, one of our gurus. He's actually part of the group that we put together on your behalf. When we've done all these interviews, we realize that there's some professionals that really know their craft and are accountable to you right here in Santa Cruz, and then those who go through the motions, just like our industry in doing loans. We go in depth to what's important to you, and we know Chris does too, and so do the members of America's Professional Resource Group. It is a collection of the very best professionals we could find or have interviewed in all of Santa Cruz. We're talking guns. These guys most have 15 to 30 years experience and are the best of the best, and we put them all together in a group called America's Professional Resource Group. You can check it out at aprgi.com, aprgi.com. It's a beautiful website with all these great professionals. You can subscribe to our new magazine. How about that? We have our own magazine, huh, Chris?
Yeah, we do.
It's very cool, and it's a very nice magazine. It is not a bunch of ads. It is actually education and entertainment, heaven forbid.
You know, it kind of follows in the footsteps of when we started the radio show, Don. I was just explaining to somebody yesterday that we're not an infomercial.
No.
You know, and that when we started the radio show, we made sure we weren't an infomercial. And the magazine's the same thing. It's not an advertisement. It's not one of those magazines you get in the mail every month. In fact, you have to subscribe to get it. And it's just great information. I can't wait to see all the articles in the next one.
Go to aprgi.com and click on subscribe now. It doesn't cost you anything. We're not spamming you, not selling anything. We're just your resource, and it will automatically show up in your email on a regular basis. In fact, we have a new one coming out here in about a week or so, so you might want to get subscribed now to get that new magazine. It's great stuff, and you'll get great information from Mr. Chris. So why don't we do that today, Chris?
Give him some great information?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
All right. So for the media, of course, we talk about how they sensationalize everything, and it's very exciting that S&P broke 2,000, which is more of a psychological number. But what does that mean to everybody, and this euphoric thing with the stock market lately, and what they should watch out for as well?
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. You can end the show now.
And
That's it.
thank you for joining Don and Gino.
You know, it's funny. I was in New York when the Dow crossed 10,000, and they were literally dancing in the streets, and everybody was wearing hats on their head, Dow 10,000, and everybody was so excited about Dow 10,000. S&P crossed over 2,000, and it was a headline. I mean, they certainly weren't dancing in the streets, so not nearly as exciting, apparently. But what is the difference? There really is no difference between the two of them. I mean, it's just a move in the market. It's just a number, and that's why it's psychological. It's great they crossed 2,000, but it really doesn't mean anything. It still boils down to valuations and where, companies' earnings and so on and so forth. We won't get into all that, but it doesn't mean that much. But, what I see is people come back to me and they say, or S&P crossed over 2,000. I should either be the people that want to be really smart, and I should sell everything. We're at all-time highs. I should book my profits and protect everything because the crash is coming. Or you get the other people that have been sitting on the sidelines this whole time, and they call you up and they go, oh, the market's doing really well, I should get in now. And both of them are emotional reactions to this number, and people need to stop being emotional when it comes to their money and their investing.
It's pretty hard for people to do, though, huh? Unless they have some great guidance.
I think it's near impossible for the average investor to do. There's been a lot of headlines recently that after the big run-up we had in 2013 and how well the market has done for several years now, we're just now seeing the retail investor start to come back to the market.
Right.
And the institutional money saying, oh, the retail investor's back. Maybe we should
should
start
get out.
booking our profits. Because, yeah, everybody, you know, once the last chip is down on the table, it's time to pick up your chips and walk away and find another table. So, so there is some of that concern out there, but it's still, it boils down to this emotional response to the markets, the numbers and whatnot. And people stop thinking about the important things like, what is my time horizon? When do I need this money? What type of an investor am I? What is my risk tolerance? What am I looking to accomplish here? And if you boil it down to that information, if you are going to be an investor for the next 20 years until you retire, it doesn't matter what the market does tomorrow, next week, the next month. You start focusing on the long term, thinking about what you're really trying to accomplish, and you're going to make more educated, sound decisions versus emotional reactions. And people need to talk to a professional and make sure that they think about those things.
Sound advice from Mr. Chris Ingram, the Infinity Wealth Management. Again, our chosen expert on our show for years now. And what we love, Chris, is you are always calm, cool, and collected. You don't get emotional, which is key. I mean, extremely key. I know we're that way when we set up loans for our clients. We don't get emotional about where interest rates are going because we have no control over those interest rates, as your investors don't have any control over the stock market. Their little investment is not going to adjust the market that has billions of dollars in it,
Right.
and investors that invest billions of dollars. So your 10,000 or 100,000 or a million is not going to affect the market.
Right.
So you better just have a good plan, and we do that a lot. You can associate with this. We just had a client recently that just said, I want the lowest rate. Well, how long are you going to be in the home? And they're like, well, I'm selling this home. I'm going to pay it off probably in the next 5 years. Well, then why should you pay $6,000 in cost to save $52 a month?
Right.
So it's going to take you 13 years to recover that money. So the lowest rate for you doesn't make sense. But unfortunately, a lot of our clients will go to our competitors that just quote the lowest rate and don't actually look at the overall scenario and ask the right questions. And that's basically what you're getting at is, what does all the other pieces of the puzzle look like to build this beautiful map for them so they don't have to worry about it.
Right. And, you know, and that's when I meet with a client, my big thing is let's start with a plan, a comprehensive financial plan. Let's look at the numbers. Let's crunch the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. 2 + 2 always equals 4. So I put the numbers together.
Depends how much you've been drinking, though.
It still equals 4. It's just harder to come to that.
There you go.
You know, you start looking at how much do I need to have saved by retirement? When am I going to retire? What are the other pieces that are going to supplement my retirement, whether it's pension, Social Security, whatever it may be? You actually crunch these numbers and work backwards and figure out where you are today and what you need to do in order to get to your goals. It makes it a lot easier to make rational, sound decisions. The problem is like you were saying, most people don't work out those numbers, so they have no idea what they need to do. They don't know if they need to make 15% a year from now until they retire or 2% a year between now and when they retire. So there's no plan in place, so they're flying blindly. So everything falls into emotion. There's no way to track their progress and make sure that they're on course. And so, you know, everybody's just flying by the seat of their pants.
I think we've heard this a million times before. Fail to plan, plan to fail.
That's right. I mean, like you just said, that's a great statement, Chris, was about if you don't have a plan, you don't know if you're off track.
Right.
I mean, you can make adjustments accordingly based on what their goals are, but if they don't have a plan at all, they can be so far off path that they'll miss Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, and then the thing that's scary about that, and I do have a particular client that I look at their numbers right now, and they have a pretty significant income, and they want to buy a home. They want to get out of an apartment. They want to buy a home, but their time horizon on retirement's 3 years, so they're kind of scared to make a move, and their financial planner has told them that they need to put away $3,500 a month And to me, that's a big number. That's a large chunk of this person's salary that needs to be put aside every month. That's really putting a damper on his lifestyle.
Right.
But that's only because he didn't start young enough in life. He could have started with such an easy number, such as $100 a month, which is something he could have afforded his whole life, and just didn't do because of the compound effect.
Right. Definitely.
So,
Well, even worse, if he didn't even at least come to those numbers, there would be no retirement. Basically, you're working until you're about 90.
Well, and that's the other thing is a lot of people want to go back in time and cry about, oh, I should have started sooner, and if I would have done it when I was 21, I'd only have to put $250 a month away, and now I have to put this much away. The problem becomes is that sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal with the fact that if you waited too long, this is the reality. Do you want to retire? And if you do, these are the numbers you have to save. These are the things that you have to do. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's either that or work until you die.
It's so funny. I'm sure when you come up with the numbers, it's your fault that they have to come up with that number.
Sometimes they do look at me a little.
Yeah, we could talk.
I'm going to find another financial planner that says I need to put away less.
Less, right?
Exactly.
Someone who has different
I don't know
numbers.
exactly, because we get the same thing where people are like, well, I could. We've been telling people to buy homes, get into the homes because prices are going to go up, and eventually interest rates go up, and they wait, and they're like, oh, that house that was $350 is now $450. So it's not our fault. We've been trying to tell you. So, all right, Chris. So we're going to come back with some more great information. What questions should your financial planner be asking? How are you going to hit your goals? And Chris is going to lighten us a little bit on high-yield bonds. I'm sure you're going, what are those? But you should know when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate Finance Show on your hometown station.